Greetings and welcome to another video. In this video, we'll be going over a dating note card. So I have to tell you a couple of things before we get into it. The dating note card is written by someone I do not know. All I do is I just take the words from the note card, remove all personal identifying information, and then paste them onto a clean note card. All I know are the words. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. It's a male, age 27, location EST plus 3, sexual orientation pansexual, gender blind. What are you hoping to find? I'm just looking for a connection that sticks, either be it as a friend or someone more. If more to come from it, then I'll welcome it. If it don't, it don't. Open to RL or just SL relationship? Open to RL or just SL? Do you like to talk on voice? Sure do. What are a few things that you love? Tech, video games, art, poetry, photography, BDSM culture. What are your hobbies while in SL? I shop, I hang at places, and I work on SL. What is your usual day in SL like? My usual day is standing around somewhere looking like an ugly goblin, or I'm working at my workplace on SL. Do you RP? If so, what kind? I could RP anything, be it ERP or just daily life things or fantasy. Emoting is easy for me. Do you have a family in SL? No, and I do want one. How important is this for you when looking for a potential partner? Not that important, but I would like to have friends and hang out and shoot the shit. Is having sex in SL with your partner important to you? Yes, as it's human nature. And when the mood strikes, the mood strikes. Does not need to happen a lot, just the romance of it. Are you into BDSM? If so, are you a Dom, Dome, Sub, or Switch? I'm a Dom. My titles are Primal, Sadist, with Daddy DDLG tendencies. If you have no idea what these are, please use Google and not Pornhub or 50 Shades of Grey. How important is this for you when looking for a potential partner? It's pretty important, as BDSM has been a big part of my life in RL and SL. I take it very seriously, and I could talk more about it in person. But sometimes it can be make or break. Please use this space to write anything else you would like to add. Hello, thank you for reading my note card, you lovely person, you. Feel free to message me or throw this note card in the trash. Okay, bye. Well, there's going to be quite a bit that we can go over in this note card. Let's go back up to the top here. Age 27. 27. Now let's just scroll down here. BDSM has been a big part of my life in RL and SL. How big of a part was it? Now, the sexual orientation, pansexual, gender blind. Okay, there is male and female, man and woman. That's all there is. Now, the gender blind. I think that's very interesting how this person answered the question. Sexual orientation, pansexual. But then in parentheses, he put gender blind. You sure you're gender blind? What about sexual orientation blind? Because there's a difference. You got your gender, a male or a female, and you have your sexual orientation, your preferences, right? Whether that be a man, a woman, an in betweener, a cross dresser, something, just something. It could be an object. Who knows? Because, that is a thing on its own. But this is not that type of video. I think when it comes to gender blind, it doesn't exist. It's not a thing. You cannot be gender blind because the human brain doesn't work that way. Yeah, bias does seep in, right? Everybody has it. Everybody is biased in whatever regard for whatever, right? Even when we try not to be, it's still going to be there because it's programmed. It's part of the primal DNA, right? Because it's like supposed to help us escape danger, avoid danger, whatever. I'm moving on. What are you hoping to find? I'm just looking for a connection that sticks, either be it as a friend or someone more. If more was to come from it, then I'll welcome it. If it don't, it don't. Now this is very sad. Just whatever sticks. And it makes the reader think about somebody taking some spaghetti and throwing it up against the wall to see if it sticks. Now that's he is not showing the best version of himself by saying that. What are you hoping to find? I'm just looking for a connection, or I'm looking for a connection. That's all he needed to say. He did not need to say this other stuff. In a date note card, you do not want to say whatever sticks or whatever. And you definitely do not want to say, if more was to come from it, then I welcome it. If it don't, it don't. Don't say that. You could think that, but do not put that in your dating note card. Don't put it in your profile either, because you know what this shows to the person reading it? No. So they really don't care either way. And you want people to see that you do care about something, something, something. Moving on. Open to RL or just SL relationship? Open to RL or just SL? So he just repeated the question in an answer form. I mean, I think he actually just copied and pasted this part because these are identical, even with the spaces and everything. But he did add a period. You see the little period there? He did add the period at the end there. So maybe he did top it. Or he just copied and pasted it and then put it over here and then put a period. Who knows? We'll never know. We will never know. Now, I'm going to say this is a red flag. All right. Open to RL or just SL relationship. It's a question. It's easy. Do you just want an SL relationship, or do you want to start an SL and then, and then slowly progress to RL if things are good? Or do you just want RL and skip SL? I mean, there's all different manners of ways you could answer it. But he just chose to repeat the question in an answer form. When somebody does this or anything equivalent, you should probably just delete the note card because this shows a whatever. Or, yeah, it has to be real life first, or I have to know up front if it's going to go into RL before I would even consider anything SL. That's how that appears to me, right? Another way is open to RL or just SL. How he just repeated the question and answer form. It's like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. It could be both. Yeah. Females want males who are decisive, who know what they want. That's just basic. I mean, I get a lot more satisfaction from a dude knowing what he wants. Any traditional female would. I can't speak for the other concoctions of humanity that are out there. I can't. Moving on. What are a few things that you love? Tech, video games, art, poetry, photography, BDSM culture. Yes, technology, video games, art, poetry, photography. These are all good, right? These are all fine. BDSM culture on a date note card of which your sexual orientation is stated pansexual, parentheses, gender blind, parentheses. I'm, I'm just leaving that there. Okay, moving on. What are your hobbies while on Second Life? I shop, I hang at places, and I work on SL. I think he actually means in SL because only Lindens can work on SL. I mean, but I see what he's trying to say, that he has employment in SL. And he does, because we will find out what he is doing currently from the profile bonus at the end of this note card. He shops. Is that a hobby? Yeah, yeah, we all consider that a hobby. We all do it. He hangs at places, like literally hang, because of the whole BDSM element to it. I mean, does he go to those particular types of Sims and does he like literally hang there? Because I wonder. But I'm sure that he just hangs out at places, whatever those places may be. The reader, we have no clue. I mean, if he were to say what type of places that he spends time, then that would give additional information to the reader. But no, all we get is I hang at places. What is your usual day in SL like? A usual day is standing around. Oh, now see, now he's standing around on his usual days. So I guess the special times are when he's hanging at places, whatever those places may be. He's standing around somewhere looking like an ugly goblin, or I'm working at my workplace on SL. So he works on things at his workspace in SL. He's standing around somewhere. So, somewhere, again, missed an opportunity to give a little bit more information to the reader as to stand around where, like what kind of places of interest, because that can be a good indication as to what that person likes, right? Or enjoys, or it's just more information to the reader. Looking like an ugly goblin. Don't do this. Do not diss yourself. Don't say things like this in your date note card or your profile because it will put off the other reader. It's not surrounded like in a context of taking the piss or joking, looking like a ugly goblin. Because this is SL, I'm wondering, is it a literal ugly goblin? Is your avatar literally an ugly goblin? Or is your avatar like a normal human avatar shaped and you just have very low self esteem and you're calling yourself an ugly goblin? So that's why just don't do this. Just don't self depreciate. Don't do that. If you're British, well, that could be kind of forgiven because, British people tend to do that. I can say that because I am British. So I'm not being an ist, right? All right. Do you RP? If so, what kind? I can RP anything, be it ERP or just daily life things or fantasy. Emoting is easy for me. Emoting is easy for him. Okay. That could either be a good thing or not a great thing. I can see that he's trying to show some confidence about his emoting skills, considering the love of BDSM culture and his willingness to RP anything. And he gives a range from ERP to daily life or fantasy. Emoting is easy for me. Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to emoting, there's different levels of emoting. I like the everyday emotes, like the hug, the wave, or the, oh, I have this expression on my face sitting here at my monitor and I'm going to emote it out, right? Because when you do like your everyday emotes, like if you're like in conversation, you're not RPing, your emotes are going to be more an indication of what you're actually doing or how you're actually animated at that moment in time in the physical world. For me, it is. Okay. Now, that could be easy. Okay. That's fine. But when it comes to ERP, the erotic role play, I don't want the emoting to be easy. I want it to be not challenging. But when you're doing that type of emoting, it takes on a different energy. And I want that energy to show through the words. Backslash me, emote, that part can be easy. But to create an emote fitting that intimate moment during an ERP, that takes energy. That takes absorbing the situation and that person within the context. So I wouldn't say that's easy because it comes down to this. If I ain't feeling it, I ain't doing it. If it ain't making sense, I ain't gonna do it. That's it. That's the easy part. Moving on. Do you have family in SL? No, and I do want one. It's the improper use of the word and here. It should be no, but I do want one. How important is this for you when looking for a potential partner? Not that important. Obviously, dude, because you said you didn't phrase it right. But I would like to have friends and hang out and shoot the shit. So basically, the whole reason for this dating note card is that he just wants some people to hang around with. He doesn't really want a relationship at all. He just wants somebody, some people to hang out with. I mean, look, the indication are in the words. Hang out. And then up here, we've got hang at places. We've got standing around, shooting the shit. We all know what shoot the shit means. The question is, how important is this for you when looking for a potential partner? It goes back to the previous question. Do you have family in SL? He doesn't have any, but he does want one. And it's important to him enough, but only important regarding friends to hang out with and to shoot the shit. But it's not that important actually have a family commitment in Second Life. Now I know, your friends can be your family, but your family can't be your friends. But in SL, look, we have choices, right? You can choose your family, unlike the physical world. But if having an SL family is not that important for him and looking for a potential partner, then how important would that potential partner actually be compared to just wanting friends and hanging out and shooting the shit? Where is the room for the actual potential partner? My opinion, all of this is just my opinion. Is having sex in SL with your partner important to you? Yes, as it's human nature. And when the mood strikes, and the mood strikes does not need to happen a lot, just the romance of it. I'll give y'all a minute. I'll give y'all a minute. Let's read it again, make sure it's sunk in. Is having sex in SL with your partner important to you? Yes, as it's human nature. And when the mood strikes does not need to happen a lot, just the romance of it. More hint of desperation. Doesn't need to happen, just the romance of it. So he's clearly he's not wanting a actual relationship. He just again wants friendships and to shoot the shit. He doesn't want anything complicated. The yes, as it's human nature. Human nature. Well, let's see. Sex, there's a reason for it. It is to procreate. It is to expand the human species. And only a man and a woman and a man. They are the only ones that can procreate. Okay? When it comes to sex, sure, there's a lot of things that go into it. There are many different reasons. When it comes down to it, it's lust. Doesn't matter which way you sway, straight, left, right, up, down, diagonal, horizontal, vertical, whatever. It all comes down to lust. Now, he continues to say, when the mood strikes, the mood strikes. Doesn't need to happen a lot. Okay, well, which mood? Like your mood or your potential partner's mood or one of the many orientated people's mood? This is a type of answer that should be easily stated as: is having sex at SL with your partner important to you? Yes. Or no. Or it can be. Or I would hope so. Really, that's all you need. We see many times where people just add on words like, with excuses or reasons or declarations or whatever. It's simple. It's either it is important to you, it's not important to you, it depends, or what have you. But when you start adding words, you start losing your readers. When the mood strikes, the mood strikes. Does not need to happen a lot, just the romance of it. He sounds like a post menopausal woman. Yes, I've just described myself. And he's 27. Come on now. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Moving on. Are you into BDSM? We already know this. But, I'm sure he's going to tell us again. If so, are you a Dom, Domain, Sub, or Switch? He says that he is a Dom. My titles are Primal and Sadist with Daddy DDLG tendencies. There's a lot wrong here. How much of a sadist? How primal are you? I mean, because, you don't want the sadist with the DDLG, do you? No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't think you want the primal with the DDLG either. Look, this is just a problem. And he's 27 and he has all this going on, the pansexual, gender blind stuff, whatever going on. This is a problem. He goes on to say, if you have no idea what these are, please use Google and not Pornhub or 50 Shades of Grey. Well, is that where you got your information from, dude? Because this part here, uh, that straight up came from Pornhub. To say if you have no idea, then da 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 da, that's off putting to the reader. That is downward talking them. That is not giving them any credit that perhaps, the reader base would actually know what that means. It's condescending. Don't do that. I'm not talking about the content of this sentence. I'm talking just don't ever say, if you have no idea what these are, da 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 da. You're assuming, and nobody wants to be assumed on, especially a reader in a dating note card, right? It shows that he's not thinking about the potential reader. But this here, this is a problem. I know we all have our stuff, our bedroom stuff, but it's a problem. It's a patchwork elephant problem. How important is this for you? We're looking for a potential partner. It's pretty important, as BDSM has been a big part of my life in RL and SL. I take it very seriously. I could talk more about it in person, but sometimes it can be make or break. It's a big part of his life. 27. He's 27. How big of a part? How much? You've been on this planet 27. Let's see. Let's think about this now. Maybe the earliest is 18. Let me get the calculator out. So 27 minus 18, 9 years. But 9 years. 9 years is a big part of his life. Come on. I'm 48. 9 years, it's gone in a blink of an eye for me. 9 years is, I mean, sure, it's a lengthy amount of time, but not for a 27-year-old. The biggest part of his life up until now, maybe he should have worded it that way, but there's more to life. Please use this space to write in anything else you would like to add. Hello, thank you for reading my note card, you lovely person, you. Ugh. Ugh. Feel free to message me or throw this note card in the trash. Okay, bye. All right, so you ready for the bonus? It's the profile bonus. Alrighty, welcome to the profile bonus. And what I'm going to do, the screen has gone black because I'm not going to show his profile. I'm just going to go over the notes that I have. But I need his profile to be able to refer back from the notes because there's a lot going on in this profile. And I'm not going to say which section the profile bits are that I'm talking about. So currently, he does have a job in SL, and it is a special type of escort, a voice one. And he encourages people to look at the rest of his profile for more info, like his rates. There's a wish list. Apparently, it's a love ints type of wish list. I did not know that was a thing. He says here that he has 11 years in RL and some on SL. about his BDSM experience. Here's a tip. If you're a lifestyle person, or if you got some, or if you're a kinkster, whatever, and you're exploring that, or what have you, online, before you may want to explore it in the physical world, you want a person that has equal amount of experience, right? Or at least more experience, maybe online than the physical world, because then they could like probably be better fit for someone that doesn't have that much experience at all. To say 11 years in RL and some on SL, that concerns me. Like as a submissive, I'd be like, oh no, 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 right? No. But that's just me. That's my opinion. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's your profile bonus right there. And let me pull up his note card again. So after having the profile bonus, I understand more about the sexual orientation, the pansexual gender blind thing, because he's an escort. I get it. It makes sense to me. Because, if you're able to entertain different genders and be blind to genders, whatever, then yeah, you're going to be able to uh, make more money or get more items on your love ins wish list. Who knows? And from reading the profile, I think this whole note card is bullshit. This is a absolutely no go. Here I am again. Sorry. I'm not going to say all that stuff over again. Just pretend you saw my face for the last 5 minutes or whatever. The profile bonus, I think it's helpful. Like, it's helpful to show why things are, or why this was said, or why that doesn't make sense, or it's like a tool to help you figure out all the questionableness in the date note card. When you're able to look at their profile, then it's helpful. Sometimes the profile is empty, and nobody likes an empty profile. Nobody. That's going to be it from me. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And also, if you would like to join the In World group, that's right, we do have a Reality of a Second Life In World group. The group join slur is also in the description below. And that's going to be it. I'll see y'all in the next one.